Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. We are down to our last two matches for this evening. It's the field finale, and it's day one, Sleeky. We've had some great matches so far. Let's, slot in our final two teams of the evening to make it into the final bracket tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been a lot of really good games, and I'm excited to this. It's the last two of today, like you said, leading into tomorrow, and so it means there's a pretty good amount on the line here for these teams, and I think that's going to lead to some pretty good Rocket League once we get into these final two.
Yeah, and for folks who don't know, the prize pool distribution for tomorrow, this is the reason why all these players are here. We tweeted about it on the Rival Esports Twitter just yesterday. It was like, well, what do these teams want? They want money. And first place tomorrow gets $1,500. Second place is $500, and third and fourth both get $250. So, we at Rival Esports, we like to have a little bit of fun. We like to spread the love a little bit. Our second to last match of the evening, we have M&M Esports up against Integrity Esports. M&M with Whisper, Magars, and Dawn. Integrity, Lumi, Snope, and Plum. Very solid teams. A little upset. I had so much written about my top three teams of this evening, and I was pretty accurate, Sleeky. Except we didn't get to see Monkey Business, but we saw all mid and Circuitry Gaming. But let's just get into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be good. M&M, I love how they've spelled it as well. I think that's one of the big things, especially with stuff in the field, is always seeing what the team names they were able to come up with, and I have to say that is the most unique spelling of M&M I've seen. So I gotta give props to that, at least the creativity, especially here for the finales of the field.
Yeah, it's very literal, but of course we have these creative team names as well. We have so many very notable team names that have been playing the past 7 months. Can you believe it? 7 months of the field. It's culminating all to just this weekend, and it almost doesn't do it justice because you feel like there should just be so much more.
Yeah, you feel like there should, but I mean, it comes down to this, and that means the players, they've got to give it their all in these games to try and make this a little bit counting, to try and get that last little bit of money, and it starts with that shot from Plum from Integrity Esports, getting it off from that left side, and a great way to get them in the lead in this game.
And you can see Don trying desperately to get that ball out of the corner, but just slowed the play down a little too much. Didn't realize the velocity coming through from Integrity, and by the time they noticed, it was too late. Shot on goal, and just under a minute into this game.
Yeah, just a minute in, and getting off onto that lead early gives them a little bit of momentum and a good bit of wiggle room as far as how they want to approach the rest. As they continue to push it downfield here, it's going to be another shot towards net, on target and through, and just like that, Integrity Esports going to have a 2-0 lead. And
this is where you're going to start to get a little bit concerned here for M&M Esports. Someone has to be up for that. I mean, the defense, no one's coming into that back post position. Someone needs to be there, rotate in on time. So maybe a little bit of miscommunication early on, but that's okay. It's only game one. Still have plenty of opportunities left to kind of get things together. But now as we see this ball head back into this orange corner, things are starting to slow down. We're seeing Don again in a familiar position. Oh, it does not bode well.
And almost a little bit of an opportunity there for Plum as he takes it over to this left side. He's trying to get a bit of a pass here in the midfield. No one on his team there able to help him out, so it'll be M&M down to the other side. We see Plum getting rotated back around. They're trying to set up Integrity R for this counterattack, as that one's going to get cut just short. It's Plum again on that sidewall. An opportunity for the shot taken away, and M&M starting to play a little bit of better defense after those first two go through. And I mean, it's still early on in this game, 2 minutes gone, so they can't let too much time pass, but still plenty of time for M&M Esports to try and get themselves back in this.
Yeah, but again, what I need to see is a little bit of an uptick in speed, as this one will just flop right in. This is a little unfortunate. You can see everyone just pushed a little too far up. Wasn't expecting just this small doink from Plum. By the time they noticed, it was too late.
Yeah, just too little, too late, and too little is not a descriptor of how Integrity has been doing so far. I mean, we're not even halfway through this game. They've already got a 3-0 lead. I mean, talk about come out of the gate swinging. They have come out of the gate just absolutely barging downfield. They're keeping up the attack now as well. M&M having a bit of trouble dealing with this defensively as we finally see them getting a bit farther downfield. Fat Cat set up to try and send this one towards net, gets it near, but it's just wide to the right. It's taken away again from Snow for real. It'll be down this right side. A little bit of a return back the other way. Fat Cat not able to get a whole lot of power on that attack as it comes towards again, just a bit high. Follow-up just wide, and finally bumped into it is Dawn, as M&M will get their first of the game.
And I want to actually see who got this final bump here on Dawn, and it was Lumi. Oh, that's really funny. But you can see M&M Esports now. They are picking up the speed. They're utilizing that backboard. They're baiting out the defense, and this is exactly what they need to do here in the latter half of this game one if they want to start this comeback.
Well, I mean, at least they were able to get that first step, though. And so immediately back into Integrity attacking. So we see it back in the corner again. Plum looking to get it back out. It was an attempted pass in the midfield, but just not quite enough power on it as Magars is going to look to take things back over. Actually looking for Fat Cat, who pre-jumped up for that. But again, power lacking on that attack, so it'll be back down the other way. Little flick, a bit too far to the left. Follow-up on target and saved away. That M&M defense holding a little bit better here, but with 90 seconds left, they've got to do something to try and get it farther downfield.
And you can see they're starting to panic a little bit. Yes, they got the save right there, but not without all three defenders on that goal line also going for the ball at the same time. So I need to see a little bit better communication from them. I need to see that defensive rotation come through. And then when they finally get this clear, I need to see, instead of just booming the ball downfield, I need to see cohesive pass plays.
Yeah, I think getting those passing plays to try and find space in the openings. Oh, like that right there, Plum! You know, you speak it into existence. Unfortunately for M&M, it wasn't on their side. We talk about passing plays that they need, but it's Integrity that ends up pulling it out. Plum finishing it off, and an excellent team play with 62 seconds left in the game, and that might just seal the deal for game one.
It might, but man, you could just follow the ball going opposite sides of the field back and forth. The defense just stood still like deer in headlights, Sleegy. Just did not know what to do, and it just sails right by them. Now, under a minute to go, you know, it's looking like Integrity's going to keep on running up this scoreline, but now, if you're M&M Esports, you gotta look a little bit towards game two. Now, unlike the rest of the lower bracket, this is a best of 5, so they have some breathing room here. They're not in a really sticky situation just after game one.
Yeah, but I mean, 5-1 is not really how you want to start this series out. At best of 5, it does give you that wiggle room, and, you know, fair play.
Yeah.
You know, whether you lose by 1 goal or you lose by 4, it's still just 1 loss. So at least they'll be reset and fresh, ready to go with game 2. But what they need to be thinking about right now, and I think also in the in-between period, is what is going wrong right now? What is Integrity doing that is essentially forcing them back? And I think the biggest thing is Integrity is just maintaining control of the ball a lot more consistently than M&M are. We see M&M get one back there. That's good, but I think they really, moving into this next game, need to focus on just holding on to it as long as they can.
Yeah, a little consolation goal here. You're right, though. Going into game 2, we need to see more team cohesion. And just looking at what M&M Esports has been doing with the ball when they attempt to bring it downfield, it almost always ends up in the hands of an Integrity Esports defender. And most of the time, even at half field, their midfield defense has been stellar at maintaining this offensive possession. Now, sometimes the best offense is a great defense, and I think that is exactly what Integrity Esports is doing this entire game 1. Now, 5-2. You can chalk up those 2 goals for for M&M Esports, my apologies, as just happenstance in that one of those goals was a bump from the defender. The other one, towards the end of the game, the defense kind of already realizing, like, all right, we're good for this one, we're good for game 1. So I don't think things are really going to necessarily slow down on the side of Integrity Esports, and if you're M&M Esports now, you're going to be a little bit confused.
Yeah, and
Or
I
not
think
confused, but perturbed.
No, you're 100% right. And I definitely think near the end, Integrity, they knew they had won game 1, so mentally checking out a little bit, saving that saving that gas for game number 2. But, you know, heading into game 2 here, it's going to have to be a start right out of the gates. I don't think M&M Esports can really afford to allow Integrity to get off to a start. I think the first goal is going to be really important. And unfortunately for M&M Esports, the first goal comes early for Integrity.
And you can see M&M Esports here, they see their last man getting that ball on the goal line, and they're already transitioning downfield, not recognizing the rebound that happens right in front of their own goal, and the offense from Integrity just swoops right in. They're not playing too fast, but they are almost sleepy.
I don't know if it's really the speed, but just the decision making. I mean, you can see this pickup. He just realizes where both of those defenders are. He knows that if he can get a solid flick towards net, it might be safe, but it's going to force both of them to jump for it, because the communications, honestly, from M&M so far haven't been overly fantastic. And in the end, they both go for it. Neither of them find the save, and now Integrity doubling their lead. This is setting up M&M into a really sort of awkward spot where they have to just focus so hard on attack that it might lead them to make mistakes on defense, and that's just leaving an opening for Integrity to get even farther in the lead.
It is, and one thing that I want to bring up in particular, you see this ball hang out in the midfield so often, but no one from M&M Esports is going up for us. Oh, watch out for Plum here,
Ooh.
almost getting that. That would have been heartbreaking for M&M.
Yeah, that would, especially still this early on in the game, but fortunately for M&M, Plum not quite able to finish it off, though M&M unable to get this one out of their half. It's Plum pushing it back over to the wall, trying to maintain possession with no boost as it finally gets taken off of him. Will fall back down and gets a bit of an unfortunate bump on his own teammate there. It'll set up Don to try and send it across net. We see it fall back down. It'll be a back pass coming through here. Magars trying to find that setup. It's a pass out in front. The demo comes through, and Integrity just barreling their way forward.
I'm just trying to see where's the defense, and it's just slight decisions here. Do I go for the boost? Do I go for the ball? And it just opens things up. It's really unfortunate, but now M&M Esports, every time they're letting another goal, and they just increase how much harder they have to work the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's going from bad to worse for them. They're already down in the series, and it's pretty much been a straight continuation from Integrity so far. Plum breaking away down, just maintaining this possession. And like I was mentioning last game, that possession has really been the key point of this series. Is Plum right there. I mean, just able to get it by again. The defense is not standing up to Integrity right now, and M&M is just continually getting punished for it.
I mean, you can just see the defense right now. They're getting baited on almost every opportunity to stop that ball as it's going downfield. It's just whiffs, and I don't like calling that out so much, but it's almost like it's a mental thing too, because you're expecting the offense to do something flashy, but no, you just gotta play the ball. Play the ball. Don't try anything fancy. I think that if you just get down to the basics, it will help you out a lot.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Maybe M&M can pull some sort of miraculous recovery in the second half, because, I mean, that's 4 goals has only come in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. As Lumi Ayala just going to be able to pick that one, make it 5. And at this point, Integrity less trying to win and more just trying to make a statement here.
And again, it's almost it's hard to pick out what exactly is going wrong when there's just a multitude of issues on the side of the defense. However, I mean, Sliggy, you bring up a valid point. It's only been half the game. A shot opportunity goes a little bit wide, but hey, anything could be the start of something special. And that would be something we'd all love to see here.
Yeah, I mean, if Integrity can score 5 goals in one half, M&M can certainly do the same if they were able to get it going, but it's just so much pressure to try and build against, especially with Integrity continually pushing in your half. So we see them doing now. Plum with a pass in the midfield off the bump, but an errant touch from M&M is going to go all the way back down the other side, catches Integrity too far forward, and M&M finally going to get on the board here in game 2.
And you can see another one, a gift coming from Integrity to M&M. It's the second time in 2 games now. And it's still worrying when 66% of your goals have come from the defense. And we need to see some offensive production here from Eminem. But again, Plum's able to bring this off his own backboard, but no one is turning that into a 50-50. It's just giving so much space to the Integrity players that they are just not under any pressure.
Yeah, I think you make a good point as well, is that we really haven't seen Eminem score so far this series, except for when Integrity has just made a really large mistake. None of their goals have come from competent play down the field, more just them being able to get a good touch when Integrity maybe pushes a little bit too far forward or accidentally gives away possession of the ball. And kind of the piggyback off of what you were saying for Eminem, that the focus needs to be on creating your own chances. Like, yeah, Integrity's going to make some mistakes, but they haven't made that many. You've got to make your own opportunities to get downfield and to get goals. And so far, we really haven't seen that at all. It's just been Integrity down the field. They might make a mistake every now and again, but other than that, it's just been struggle from Eminem Esports to get anything going. And this game, too, is going to go into the category of Integrity, and they're going to be up on series point going into 3. And Eminem has got to figure out what they're doing wrong here, and they've got to figure it out quick because they're about to be backs against the wall.
Oh, they are, but Sleegy, this past minute has been great for Eminem. I've just been watching the way that they've been moving this ball. They have been increasingly aggressive on this midfield. Look at this, Don, keeping this ball on the blue half, turning, again, it's when you turn those free opportunities into 50-50s, all of a sudden you give your team a chance. This ball has not left the blue half for almost a minute. It's the first time it just left just now, at the very end of the game. Eminem Esports, they can create these opportunities, and they just have to sustain it now. They didn't give Integrity any chances that last real minute of the game. If they can continue that here into now game 3, I think we can start to see some real gains from them.
No, I mean, absolutely. The chance is still there. That's why it's this best of 5. But it's going to be that hard road. They've got to get a reverse sweep now. They have to win essentially 3 in a row against a team that they really haven't been able to score on consistently. And unless they're really able to get their attacking pressure in line this game and set up their own opportunities through passing plays and through their exploitation of the defense, it's going to continue to be hard for them to really break out of their own half, let alone try and take and hold on to a lead.
Let's see here. Will we see a sweep in this lower bracket semifinal? Really, quarterfinal is we're down here. First minute is going to be so big for Eminem. Can they strike first?
Looks like Plum might be having an issue as well. We might be getting a lobby reset, maybe a couple of connection issues, but it does give us a little bit more time to talk about what Eminem Esports needs to try and pull out of the bag here, because again, you know, it's series point. You're in the lower bracket, so you're already backs against the wall as far as the tournament's concerned. And now you're in a situation where you've got a reverse sweep. You're going up against a team that you're struggling to get the ball out of your zone, let alone in a position to score. How do you combat that if you're a player on this side?
It's all about who wants it more. We saw, and I'm so convinced, Leaguey, the last minute of Game 2, that was the Eminem Esports that we need to see from the past 10 minutes of Rocket League. It was condensed right there. Bring that in Game 3. Strike first. Stop playing from behind. Midfield presence. So critical. Don't give away those free 50-50s. They're not 50-50s, just they're 100 zeros. I don't even know how to, like, properly say it. Like, Eminem Esports, they're just giving Integrity all of these opportunities. It's not Integrity creating them, more so that they're just taking them away. And right now for Eminem Esports, they have the recipe now. I really am so convinced from that last minute of Game 2. I am so convinced that Eminem can bring this back. I really believe they can.
Yeah, the possibility's there, but I think the other thing with Integrity is they've also just been playing kind of smart. I mean, and that's been why we've seen them hold on to possession as much as they have. We've seen them connect on some really solid passing plays. For Eminem, it's going to be, like you said, playing like that last minute of Game 2, trying, you know, to really push them on those 50-50s. Just make sure, even if you're not going to win it, that you're there making them uncomfortable in situations until they finally start making those mistakes, because the mistakes are there. It's just not been M&M in positions where they can easily capitalize on it.
So, I don't like to make this analogy often, but some of the goals that I've seen on the Integrity Esports side are sort of like those clips you see on Reddit where it's a great looking goal, but then someone in the comments says, "Where's the defense?" And that it's the same thing here. M&M Esports, like it's not just on the offensive side as well. It's just work around the board here.
Yeah,
And most of it, little bit, all of it. The communication. I still really need to be convinced of that rotation. I'm somewhat convinced now on that offensive side, but I haven't seen a whole lot. Like, again, that last minute of game 2, we didn't see the ball on defense at all for M&M. So who knows? Integrity could have just brought it down the field and scored because everyone was pushed up from M&M because they were just so focused on their offense. So again, there's different scenarios on how this can play out. I think we can both agree Integrity Esports in a very good spot right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're up on series point. They've been winning both of these games pretty convincingly. I mean, to the point where you could see, especially at the end of game 1, they knew they had it in hand, and they already just started to prepare for game 2. But that's something they've got to be careful about. You can't let yourself get too overconfident. Yeah, you've been winning. Yes, you've been winning by a good margin, but you've got to keep that up. The second you start to relax a little bit, be like, we've got this, we don't really have to try, is the second that a team like M&M Esports can start to try and claw their way back in. So I'm going to be looking at Integrity in this game 3 to try and keep their foot on the gas and keep doing what they're doing. I would hate to see them start to just lose like this, because maybe they get a little too overconfident, they start to relax a little more, and they let M&M to start creep back into the series.
You know, momentum, very deadly here. If M&M just takes it and just runs with it, that we can see reverse sweep. I mean, if that's what they need right now, they need the reverse sweep. Do we see it often with score lines like this? Oh, it's very tough because a lot has to like dramatically just shift. But you know, if we could see it here, I wouldn't be too upset. I'd be pretty excited. We get to see some more Rocket League, and who doesn't like to see that? But as we're getting ready here for Game 3.
Yeah, we just had a little bit of a lobby issue. Looks like we're trying to get everyone back in, just waiting on Integrity to get back through, and then we can get underway with this Game 3. Again, for anyone who's just joining us in, this is the lower part of the bracket for the finale of the field. It's been a lot of games leading up to this, and we still got a lot more leading in today too, but we've got this one and then one more on broadcast here tonight, and there's a lot of money that these players are trying to compete here for a meet and greet.
Yeah, $1,500 for first place tomorrow evening, $500 for second, $250 for third and fourth. And this is not just for North America, of course. We have the EU side as well sharing the same prize pool. So it's just we love to have fun here at Rival, and you know, the field has just been such a wonderful experiment. It's been 7 months of just seeing all of these teams from all levels of play get through. Come through and play through the ranks, the Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. It was just, wow, what a gift. Really, we have been really blessed to have this.
Yeah, that we have, and it looks like we should be able to get into this Game 3 here momentarily, so hopefully we'll be able to get into that, and that is exactly what we've got right here. Game 3 underway between Integrity and M&M, able to get the server issues resolved, and we'll see if maybe that little bit of an extended break was enough time for M&M to, you know, collect themselves and get a strategy, or whether or not Integrity is going to be able to finish off this series with a sweep. I'd, like you were saying, love to see more. Oh, M&M so close to getting their first lead of the series.
Oh, man, that would have been huge, but they're not stopping, Sleeky. They're back at it. You love to see this. The offense just completely energized here in Game 3. They know what's at stake.
Going straight back down again. That's not a giveaway you want to give to Integrity. The double touch, though, doesn't quite come through. It's still Integrity pushing forward. There's a good little touch here in the corner. Finally be picked up. M&M was looking to move downfield. Lumi Not allowing it as he sends it back into midfield. Plum was trying to find a redirect. Plum almost got bumped into the ball. And a shot reminiscent of one that we saw in game 1. As it's still, yeah, there it is. It was still Integrity pushing. Lumi able to push it in. And unfortunately for M&M, they had that first opportunity, but it's Integrity that ends up on the board first.
And it's really unfortunate because you had 2 players from M&M Esports rotating on the ball side of the goal and not rotating around the back, and it just puts awkward position for that front post defender to make that save. Unfortunate circumstances, but hey, they're only down by a goal. You know, at this point in games 1 and 2, they're down by multiple. So I eat my words, Sleeky. It's starting to not look so great.
And the caster curse comes in a little bit. You talk about them normally being down by multiple, and Lumino's like, oh, what was that? Down by multiple? Sure can do. I can make that happen right away.
Oh, goodness gracious. M&M Esports, they have their work cut out for them. But again, they started this game really hot. I want to see them continue.
The work is cut out, though. Down by 2 in the series and also in the game. They've got to try and really focus up to get things under their control. It's been a continuation of what we've seen all series long. Just an inability to break past this Integrity defense and really get some solid offense down the field. We see Plum up for it again, continuing this one over to the right side. He's looking for the pinch into the corner. Magar is back out in the midfield. It's a drop down. Plum coming around on that back wall to try and send it towards again as he gets one block. Will be Magar's able to over one. Double commit from Integrity. M&M, though, not in the best of positions to be able to take advantage of potential double touch. What a block, though. I don't know why it didn't give him credit for the save, but a huge block to keep that double touch from going through.
So critical here, and we're seeing M&M Esports. They're making these saves, Lee, but they're just not getting out of their own half. They're boost starved. They are just not sending it to teammates at all. They're just giving the ball directly back. And the pass plays for Integrity are just so key here. They're just completely dominating. And look at Plum given open season to throw that to Lumi.
Yeah, just, again, Integrity, it just feels like they are the better offensive team. They are putting together passes. They're finding open space. They're exploiting the defense. And for M&M, it's still just a struggle to hold on to any sort of substantiated possession. And the struggle for them to get downfield is really just on display here. And with 2.5 minutes to go, already down by 2 in the series, they're continuing to drop down in the game. It's going to have to take some next level effort as Plum, I mean, been the star of the show so far. He's had some really nice shots.
Really has, but again, 2 minutes to go here. Down by 3. M&M Esports, they bring it downfield, but it's just nothing substantiated, nothing sustains. I need to see just the presence. It's not there, and it almost hurts, Sleeky. Almost hurts because you saw a glimmer of what could have been at the end of game 2, and it's just melting away.
Yeah, I think the chances for M&M Esports to win this series are melting away as we continue on with this game 3 here. It's a 4th on the board in a row for Integrity. We're still waiting for M&M to get their first, and to think that they need 3 more in less than 2 minutes is just looking like a mountain that they're going to have to climb to get back into this. Obviously, anything's possible in Rocket League. It would be fantastic to see, but it's just looking wholly unlikely for them to be able to put together the sort of offense that would be necessary to come back at this point.
I mean, I just don't see the urgency. There was that kickoff just there. All 3 of the players regressed back into their own field. No one went to challenge the ball, and we need to see that urgency. It's almost like they're not concerned that they're down by 4 goals and that they have to realize, oh goodness, we have to score so many times right now. We need to see that sense of just quickness from them, and we're just not seeing it.
I think it might just be chalked up to they might have admitted defeat mentally, and when that happens, it's really hard to follow through physically. Integrity just piling on there, get their 5th on the board, and I think that mental defeat finally going to transfer into a physical defeat here is with 43 seconds to go, a 5-goal deficit. It's looking pretty much impossible at this point for Integrity not to walk away with the 3-0 sweep.
I'm just looking at the scores from games 2 and game 1, and I don't know if I got the game 2 score correct. I think it was 5 goals for Integrity in game 2, but this,
yeah,
it's 15 goals. Now, M&M Esports, they walk away with one right here. It also helped that Integrity had a nice double commit, leaving, I believe it was Snofa on the back line. But again, 15-4 does not bode well.
No, well, I mean, 15-5 at least. And I mean, if they can keep scoring kickoff goals like that, they might have enough time. Although I don't think Integrity is going to keep letting them get that through. They're at least able to take advantage of it and dampen the loss a little bit here. I want to see what happens on this kickoff and whether or not Integrity is going to keep taking them the way they are. It's actually another favorable one for M&M. If he can pick it up off the corner, it's not quite enough. That might have been the opportunity to potentially get them in a position where they might have been able to come back. But with time ticking away and the goal not coming through, there just isn't.
Oh my goodness! Wait. Oh my
12
gosh.
seconds is enough time for 2. It's hard, but it's possible.
If they come back and tie this up, I will eat my caster sheet. I will eat this caster sheet because this will make no sense. This just makes no sense right now, but it's happening.
Well, the final 10 seconds, they've got to get it all the way downfield right now. It's Magar's whiff to touch, but he's not going to be able to get it through. Time is finally going to run out. M&M, they make a stand at the end, but in the end, it's not enough to stand up to Integrity Esports, who take the 3-0 sweep and move on to the next stage.
I have to admit, they started to scare me a little bit in that last 5 seconds, but unfortunate for M&M Esports, their run in the field finale will end here. Integrity, congrats, you've booked your ticket into day 2 tomorrow evening for a shot of that first place $1,500. Goodness gracious, that's some sweet, sweet money. Now, you win some, you lose some, and I just didn't see the response required from M&M Esports. You could just tell that Integrity, they were playing at a completely different demeanor, much more confident. They were also communicating a lot more. You can tell just by the way that most of their goals seemed completely scripted. The passes that they're coming out with, and again, M&M Esports, I just didn't see the urgency, and that's what I believe was their major downfall of this series.
Yeah, it was just a little too late there. They make a pretty good stand at the end of Game 3, but in the end, it's just not enough to turn the tide. So, Integrity Esports punched their ticket into tomorrow, but we've got one more game before we close out the broadcast here tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, more field right here on Rival Esports.